liking femboys is not gay. Let's just start off with the facts because I've been seeing especially nowadays there's like this femboy craze where even as a joke or something it'll be like, yo, this femboy is so sexy, or I low key, this femboy's peak, like he looks so good, or like it would be like femboy ASMR. There's just a big femboy frenzy going on right now. Everybody wants to fuck a femboy right now. And then there'll be comments that be like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro, you gay. You gay as hell for that. And I could kind of see both sides, right? Because sexuality is a spectrum, right? And I think I'm pretty set where I am in the spectrum. I don't think there's ever gonna be a moment where I'll see like a femboy, like just the sexiest femboy. He fits all my criteria, but there's always gonna be a boundary that's stopping me from like really feeling anything more than just like, okay, like surface level. Like, oh, he's cute. There's really nothing that's gonna take me over the edge and have me thinking like, damn, I want to take this man out to dinner, or like I'll take him out to dinner, but as my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm pretty set there because I can acknowledge that I can acknowledge when a man's sexy. I can imagine, I can acknowledge like, oh, like, I can see why, this would turn some straight men gay, or turn, which is, I'm using gay as like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that like femboy is gay, but I can see how a straight man would turn into a femboy lover. That that should just be its own classification, femboy lover, because it's like I said, it's so nuanced, right? And I would, I can't see myself dating a femboy, starting a family, with a femboy, as I would with like a woman. Where I'll see a woman, I'll be like, I get these primal, or like this primal instinct where it's like, oh, let me take her out to dinner, and you know, not fuck, but like, you know, see if I could get the first step, date her and stuff. Like, I would never think about getting to start a relationship with a femboy, but I can see why some men would do that. And now, back to my original point, wanting to tap some fembussy don't make you gay. Just like sucking a fucking brolic man's cock don't make you gay, right? Let's say you sucking his dick, and you put it in pain on that shit, and he finishes, and you wiping your mouth, and you come out of that session like, yep, not for me. I would never do this shit again. Does that really make you gay just because you did one gay thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, not really, because that doesn't stick with you. It's not a part of your personality, or it's not a part of who you are as a person deep down. Like, because if you suck that dick and you're like, yeah, I like dick, yeah, you're gay now, and that's perfectly fine. But I think taking that, like, femboys are even you know an even different I don't even know. They're like an even more complicated kind of situation, because like I said, they present as a woman, um and sometimes you won't even know until you know they themselves, they show like, oh, this is my out of cosplay, um out of cosplay video, or they'll just explicitly say like, oh, dude, I'm a boy, um but they present as a woman, look like a woman. What's what's not to make you as a man think you want to do things that you would with a woman, with this man who's presenting as a woman? You feel me? Are you following? So let's say you get to a point where you're like, I'ma ask this. I mean, you take him out to dinner, you take him home, you just tear up that fembus. Are you gay? Eh, Personally, I would, but I'm trying to, you know, he looks like a woman. Like, you're fucking this dude because he looks like a woman. I think, unless you fall in love with his personality, then you know, are you really gay? If you're falling in love with his personality, you just fucking cracking that shit. You, ooh, ooh. I'd say you lean towards more of like a pansexual. But I feel like it's so nuanced, right? Because if, like, let's say he takes everything off, he's got a fucking big ass beard and his fucking, you know, he just looks like a fucking man, a man's man, fucking lumberjack, and you still saying fucking, I'm gonna crack that shit till the fucking sun rises. I think we're teetering on homosexuality. I think we are, which is okay. If you fucking this dude and you find out that you like that shit, you like when they look big and brolic and fucking hairy and dusty and musty and just manly. That's cool, bro. You do you, bro. But I think if you fucking this dude and you're like you're fucking it, and it's so hard to explain, right? Because I've never been in a situation. It's hard to picture myself in a situation. So I'm picturing myself in another man's head. And I don't even know this man who I'm picturing myself as. So I'm trying to like put all these pieces together. But like let's say you got one leg up, you got this dude bent, but in your mind you fucking like a man, like a womanly man, and you fucking this man because he looked like a woman, act like a woman. Is that really gay? I don't know, because you're doing it with the pretense that they got like a lot of like femininity, and you're going into this shit, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really, because you in it for the womanly features, and that's the conundrum. Because there are people that can separate the fem bus from the bus, right? That can sit here and say, look, this ain't bussy I'm fucking. This is fem bussy, right? I'm fucking it because it's feminine. I want him, and I need him, and I plan on marrying this man because he looks like a woman. He looks like a woman, and it's how can you call that gay? Because you liking him because he looks like a woman. Now, I feel like I've never seen a femboy, age, right? It's like, well, let's be honest. We all, with testosterone, our hairline starts going back, and we start looking more like a man. Like an old man looks more like a man than like a 20-year-old. I think, that's just it's just a fact of biology. You get older, and your testosterone just starts. As you age, you start looking more and more like a man. Um, you know, Now we haven't really gotten to this stage yet where dudes are looking at these. We haven't really gotten to a stage where a femboy evolves, where we've seen a 50-year-old fem. I haven't seen a 50-year-old femboy, so I can't speak. But you know, do they? Do you keep on? Oh my God, it's like, let's say you marry this femboy. You guys are in the prime of your lives. This guy is looking so fucking feminine. And then you marry him because he looks like a woman, and obviously you fall in love with the personality, but everything started because he looks like a woman, and it's but time passes, and maybe he's done. He's like, yo, I'm done being a femboy. I just want to be me. It's hard, man, because like, let's say you fell in love with him because he looked like a woman, and you fell in love with him for him. Now I think we're kind of I think you a little gay. I think you a little gay, and that's okay. But I think I can say with certainty that in the beginning, like, you fall in love with this dude because he looks like your dream girl. He acts like your dream girl. You fall in love with him, and you can't hold these feelings. I don't think that's necessarily gay, because you're thinking of you're focusing on all the femininity of it all. But like, I think once we get to a point where this dude's like, yo, I'm gonna take, I'm done dressing up as a woman. I'm done presenting as a woman, and you still love him, which is okay. But you're gay now, I think. But I think initially, in general, liking femboy, wanting to take down some fembus is not gay. And if you disagree and you think it is gay, and there's nothing wrong with being gay. Be gay. Gay also means happy, bro. If you gay, then you gay, and that's gay, bro. I'm gay for you. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Um, I don't think liking femboys is inherently gay, and maybe this helps you kind of deal with whatever insecurities you got about it. But if you love femboys, you love femboys, and that's you know that's you, bro, and be happy about that shit, man. But yeah, I don't think I don't think liking femboys is inherently gay. And I just wanted to let that out there. If someone was like, "Oh man, I might be," if someone's calling you gay because you like this femboy, I just, you know, sexuality is a spectrum. Now you might not be 100% straight, but that's okay too. We don't all gotta be 100% straight. You could be straight, but not 100%. You know what I'm saying? Just like you can be white, you could be black, but you don't gotta be 100%. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, if you like femboys, bro. Like if someone calls you gay in the comments, shit. Even if you not, you say hell yeah, I'm fucking gay. You got a fucking problem with that shit? Because there's really nothing wrong with being gay. Um, and if you think they like you fuck a femboy and you just happen to end up liking men in general, that's cool too. That's great. I'm happy for you. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to dive a little deep into this shit because it seems like we talking about like all these dudes. There's a lot of TikTokers that are cosplaying. They cosplaying as women, presenting themselves as femboys and all that shit. And the dudes in the comments is just either joking or seriously talking about like, yo, this is my favorite femboy, or like low key, bro. If you're not taking this down, bro, I am. Or like if you're not taking this down, like you bugging, right? And I just seen and people are saying like, oh, I like femboys, and then there's people that say, yo, you gay for that. I think we just need to talk about it because I think it's important. I do think it's important to really dive deep into this. But yeah, that's me out.